Scorpio, most people are starting to notice that there's just something different about you. And something within your character, within your personality, within your humanity that kind of shapes people's, overall view that you are a righteous and downright, almost offensive or intimidating individual, right? And so now that I think you're becoming aware of people's reactions towards you. You can see the looks on people's faces. You're kind of trying to take in this new vibe, this new energy. The only reason why it's new to you though is because you're finally pulling yourself back down to your body type shit. So basically, what I see here is that you had to almost carry this weight on your neck, on your back, on your chest. This could be things about being overweight. This could be things about not being satisfied within your body, or maybe not even being conscious within your body, not connecting really with humanity or life at all. There was like almost a sense of anger or a sense of guilt that definitely you had carried for long enough. Like I felt like years and years and years, maybe coming from a separation between you and somebody else, or trying to almost like piece together or fit together the puzzle pieces in a situation where there was no solving this shit, right? There was no journey coming out of this situation, right? And so now this is what we see. Okay, this is the person that we see, Scorpio. We see someone with newfound courage, newfound confidence. You shine brighter than what I think you realize. Your voice also stands out to people. Your harmonics or your vocal tone is very alluring towards people. There is a sense of like I can communicate with you and almost feel instantly comfortable, instantly like satisfied with my conversation with you, or like with my approach with you. Like you make people feel balance. You make them feel good. You give them the power and the know-how to move forward in their life. You shine bright lights on this aspect of like I'm being myself, so why can't you be yourself type shit. Well, I do think that's very valiant of you. Where I do think I think was the card that was actually missing within what I pulled was actually the Justice card, because I feel this like I just want to say you guys are typically the one to play, like you can play devil's advocate quite often, right? Where you kind of either the really really bad guy, the really really good guy in certain situations. But I feel like you played your cards in a way that was separate and different from all the rest, which kept you in a gray area. So you almost stayed neutral through a situation, and that has taught you how to be patient, how to stay alert and stay positive and stay focused on your own individuality. And I do think that pisses people off, right? So we also have Five of Cups here, which is like so people are trying to soil it for you, with their own depression, with their own downfall, with their own issues and problems that they have been suffering from, right? Pushing down this feeling of like guilt towards others is kind of what y'all been going through recently as well. It's like, why do you have unrelenting guilt towards people you never even hurt in the first place? You know what I mean? So their pain ends up being shared, right? Shared between you and Mammo. So this is pain that they're meant to carry, that they're meant to get over, and somehow you end up also carrying their pain and their insecurities and their sorrow on your back, right? Yeah, through love, okay? Through an entanglement. This could be romantic, this could be friendships, this could be your family, okay? You carried everyone's weight on your back, and this is what it gave you. Page of Swords. It made you incredibly defensive, incredibly almost like cruel or dissociative, where to the point where you wasn't even yourself half the time. You couldn't accept yourself, and you couldn't accept the fact that you wanted individuality, you wanted space, you wanted your own life. And so as a result, you just shut down, okay? You told yourself that, this is enough for me. Okay, Empress in the reverse. This is enough for me, and I don't need to satisfy myself. I can satisfy others and feel completely fine. You know, that's what you told yourself, the moon in the reverse. But that's not really what was going on internally. Internally, I feel like you were screaming, or internally, I feel like there was so much passive aggression and anger towards the situation. Maybe even towards a feminine. There's a feminine figure here that like you could not. You couldn't come back up to speed to where you needed to be. Ace of Cups is like, okay, so there was small senses of victory, right? Like you can feel victory, you can feel when you were doing well in your life, but there was nothing to really maintain that. It's like there was no maintenance on the battlefield. So while, like I said, you was doing well in a group of people who weren't doing well, and so as a result, they just kept pulling this down, pulling you down, and pulling you down, and pulling you down. There was no image ahead of you that was telling you to keep going. They just kept pulling you. 10 of Cups in the upright, yeah. So, like, this is all the prophecy fulfilled. Fate has been fulfilled. Destiny has been fulfilled. Okay, yep, see? It's all been fulfilled. Okay, so these are things that have already happened. There's no going back or regretting what you've already done or trying to fix what you've already done. Because at this point, it's just like that happened. Okay, and we can't keep, like regressing back towards it or crawling back towards it or getting caught in the idea that you have to live a life of self-punishment and self-restriction because this is who you were or who you could be. Like that's impossible. You don't need to do that. Okay, you don't need to do that. That is not your job moving ahead. Your job moving ahead is the High Priestess. So there's like almost a sense of battle. Okay, where you're kind of like a general almost. Like I want to say you're a general. Like you rule. No, Scorpio rules the death, right? Transformation. Okay. You're trying to completely change not only your outer appearance but also your inner appearance, how you appear when it comes to empathy and how it appears. Like you're no longer going to manipulate is what I pick up on. Like there was a lot of manipulation happening before where you would manipulate people, or I guess the word might be martyrdom. Martyrdom was a big piece or play. I feel like that's changing as well. Now with these changes to your character and to your growth, you're going to see a very large influx of people coming back to you. Okay. Whether they see you in person and they say hi, or it's the internet where they're adding you through other people or trying to progressively, call you. Just constant calls and texts and all this. Because you have altered your mindset, you might think that, hey, maybe it would, because I wasn't good enough in the past, maybe I'm good enough for this person now. But let me tell you something. There was never anything that you had to change for this person to accept or respect you. You had to accept and respect yourself. So that mindset or that idea that you had to be someone for someone else, that needs to be removed, that needs to change. You never had to be under their foot. You never had to be under their thumb, and you never had to make any changes based on their behalf. Okay? Because they would have, I think, to be honest with you, there was no help or support from this individual. Like there wasn't any, like almost no initiative. So like this person I think criticized you, but I pick up on hypocrisy. Is that you were criticized and you were chastised and you was strung up on the motherfucking crucifix, but this person could never do no wrong. Don't you see the problem with that? That's narcissism, babe. That can even be deeper than narcissism. That can be someone who has, a very sick sense of self, but also a martyr. Someone who's constantly in pain or crying out in pain, and nothing can ease that pain, but doing the worst things possible, right? there's a lesson between all of this. And Three of Pentacles is like hanging in the distance, hanging in the balance. This is your success, hanging in the distance. You know, I feel like most of y'all are walking away from certain relationships, or finally blocking the person who has been causing you so much heartache, pain, and distress over this long period of time. You know, you're finally getting over this battle, this hump. You're releasing all of the emotions, coordinating to how this person or people, there's justice right there. There she is. How this person or situation made you feel. Okay, you're heartbroken. You know, at the end of the day, I think we all are. And now I think that it's valid for us to feel heartbroken over how people treat us in the 3D type shit, like how people treat us here versus how they feel internally. Because internally they might be saying sorry, internally they might be doing this and might be doing that, but that's a might be. What they aren't doing in the 3D to your face is letting you know these feelings, letting you hear what they really felt about themselves and about you, about the relationship. Those were never expressed properly. And I don't think they're gonna properly express it now. You know, I'm gonna be real with you. You know, if they came forward, I think it'd still be just as one-sided as it was back in the day. So now it's time to zero in and focus on a new horizon. Okay, focus on new potentials, new potential love, new potential in you know, work endeavors, and trying to limit the amount of, I think, space that you give yourself, because sometimes y'all can almost walk out on every good opportunity in order to take space, in order to wait for that good opportunity to go away. It's like y'all are wanting that shit to be a bad mistake or a horrible situation, but it isn't, right? So like you're constantly second guessing yourself, and they want you to actually push, show ambition, try. Don't try to fuck this up. Actually try your best. You know, try your best to push forward. And that applies all across the board in whatever you're dealing with right now that's new in your life. You need to try. Okay, Scorpio? I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.